Hello and welcome to week 5 of Composition 2. We are doing some hard work all on your own, right? We're thinking about things, we're really mentally going through our topics. So I'm trying to keep week 5 a little light in terms of work because I really am hoping that you're going to spend some time researching your topics, trying to figure out what you want to do. So before I move on, I want to and talk about week 5, I want to recap week 4 and week 3. I am slowly getting through your discussions on your topics, and then we'll have some commentary. I've been reading your discussion board posts on They Called Us Enemy, and I think you have some great ideas that's leading us toward our drafts. So good things are happening from week 4 and week 3. So just that little recap, and I will have comments and grades and everything updated as quickly as possible. I'll be getting that over the weekend, so please be sure to contact me with whatever questions you have about your grading. In the meantime, let's look at what's happening in week 5. Week 5 doesn't look like a whole lot. We're reading an article called On the Front Lines of a New Culture War. And I explained it in the discussion board, but I had this essay earlier in the week, or I think for week 3, when I taught it last year in the spring. And this is the first time I've ever used this article. And this article got some strong reactions. And so I wanted us to read The Other Side Is Not Dumb first before we read this article, because it's very interesting. And we have to consider that these are people's points of view. This is what they see is happening. It doesn't mean it's necessarily correct, but it's correct to them. We all have what I call valid perspectives. And those perspectives can change the more we know, the more we experience. So we have to consider that. Even if it may not be true, it's valid to us. And there's a difference between true and valid. And I'm not going to really get into that right now because it gets difficult. But we're reading that article for Wednesday, and you'll have a discussion board and a summary for it. I'm not asking you to do a works cited because I'm trying to be kind. But in this meantime, we're also, I'm asking you to read your responses to discussion 8. It's not going to be in the grade book. Those discussion responses, and I'll remove this before I submit this video. But those responses are in the discussion board, so go and look at the replies, and you can see what I say to other people too. So I think that's a good reason why I did that, because I wanted to make sure that we could all see how our ideas are working together, because you don't think of things in a vacuum by yourself, even though it feels like you are. If you're in class, I'd have you chatting with each other and doing all sorts of weird meshy hand stuff. Sorry about the hand signs. Anyway, I would have us talking, and we can't necessarily do this, but feel free to communicate with your classmates, and you can do that via the email function. If you click on that, like so-and-so had a good thing, you can just email a single user and find that person, say, hey, I really like this idea. Where are you getting information? And that'd be cool. Again, be nice. Don't harass anybody. Anyway, so that's where we are with the Culture War article and what we're looking at. So it should be interesting. There's a critical thinking handbook reading on support. And then I have some general advice on topics, how to refine some things, the difference between persuasion and argument. And that's an important thing. Learning that difference between what is an argument and what is persuasion, but also what's an opinion compared to a claim. I always say a claim versus an opinion is like, let's say you don't like broccoli. Well, your opinion is broccoli's gross. That's fine. That's your opinion. Other people may like it, and you have to accept it. A claim is broccoli is a bad vegetable to serve to children. And then you have to think of your support. So our support from the Critical Thinking Handbook will help us with that. But the claim is it's bad for children because, well, it has to be cooked a certain way for kids to like it. Usually you put cheese on it or butter, and it adds, excess fat or salt to it. Most of the time it's boiled or microwaved or steamed, and that gets really soggy and kids don't like it. Kids usually only eat the floret part, the top of the broccoli, but the most nutritious part is the stalk, which has all the fiber and a lot of nutrients. So you can make a lot of claims not claims, but support for that claim. And it's a lot different than, I don't like broccoli, it's gross. And a lot of our claims right now about our topics seem to center around an opinion. I don't like this, it's not good. But you can study that opinion and say, where does this come from? What is my grounding? What makes my opinion valid? Here are these experiences. Here's what's happening with it. So that's what I want us to think about. We're doing discussion 13, which is the story of your topic. So once you're starting to think about your topic a little bit more, once you've narrowed it down some more, answer these questions. It's going to help you kind of figure out, okay, well, why is my topic an important issue? Why is something going on? And then finally, oh, I have a typo. But journal, what you know so far. It should be saying, for this journal, I want you to do some preliminary research. So I want you to go into the different databases. You should have your library card number. I asked you to get that. If you don't have it, ooh, we're in trouble, right? Contact me. I have them all, so I'll be able to get that to you fairly quickly. Librarians have been very helpful with that. But so let me know so I can help you, because you need your library card. If you haven't gone through the tutorials, be sure to do that. So a lot of thinking on our topics, a lot of just thinking. And I want you to think. I want you to talk about these topics with other people, your friends, your family, your parents. If you don't have friends, families, or parents, you need to get some somehow. I don't know. Talk to me. Feel free to email me, contact me. Talk with people who might be experts in this topic. Get some ideas, because you're really going to explore it. And it's very helpful, and it'll become interesting. You can find out whether or not it is actually interesting to you, because we're stuck with this topic for the rest of the semester. And I want you to really care about this and feel like you're doing something rather than just pursuing a topic that you hate. So that is where we are for week 5. I do have everything up for week 6 except for a final discussion board, so I'll move this down here. There will be a discussion board on a reading, but week 6 we're moving on to another important lesson on what I call stasis theory. It's not what I call it, but everybody calls it that, but it's not always used for research, but I think it's good. So some interesting things to look at, so you're welcome to work ahead on that. There's an article, Are Too Many People Going to College? And I do not have the discussion board for that, but also we are drafting our book review for next week. So we're doing that in Journal 3 with a book review rough draft. And then the another draft is going to be due at the end of the week that you're going to submit, and we're going to do peer review on that. So, whoa, wrong. I have a meeting I got to go to. Just want to get me up here. Here we are. So that is where we are this week. Please let me know if you have questions. Have a wonderful rest of the week.